was you, but someone said it's
Let's
okay.
face it, the last couple of months have been brutal for the Nijisanji EN branch. And here is likely their response to these issues, and that is opening up public auditions for Nijisanji EN. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you can throw your hat in the ring and apply to become a Nijisanji EN liver today.
It's this story.
Now, of course, looking at the past couple of months...
My hot take, I'm applying. Actually, okay. Seriously, this, I do agree. I think it's shit. I don't know if he's pro or against yet, but I think Nijisanji is shit for doing this, and they're assholes, but I am tempted to apply to see what the process would be like, but I'm curious if they'll reject me just because I make commentary videos. Because I'm curious what the Nijisanji process
several
is.
graduations
I think that would be
and
a fun
terminations
video.
within their agency. This is not too surprising. They're trying to fill in the void and also try to kickstart that stock that keeps dropping by introducing perhaps a few new VTubers to their EN branch. Now, of course, a lot of people are mocking this situation, basically acknowledging that this might be like signing a deal with the devil, or people saying this, why would anyone, after everything they've heard, referring to the past couple of...
So he hides... Oh, I forgot, I turned off... Yeah, I'll actually keep chat... Do you want chat on or off? Do you want YouTube to see your hot takes or not? I just turned it off because it wasn't fitting on the screen right. I'll actually just make you guys smaller. They can squint to get your hot takes, okay? They can squint to get them.
Months in particular, because there has been a lot happening, and if you are someone who is considering applying to be a
this was from his stream, okay,
Nijisanji EN liver, there are things you should be aware.
It's because I don't agree with some of his videos, so well, it's not even that I disagree. I don't enjoy him per se. Mainly, I don't know why. He just isn't my kind of commentator, and that's it usually. But you're lovely, and you're special, and you're awesome, Frank. Stay absolutely lovely. Thank you. The food effect, the moonlight. God damn it!
The type of experience you might have with that agency. And I think from the past couple of months alone, we can get a pretty good framework.
I am pausing a lot because you guys are acting a lot of things, and I'm gonna get in trouble for it, but I'm sorry, YouTube. But, the thing is, I would say, I also don't usually watch Nijisanji stuff because it's a fucking shit show. Sometimes I don't watch stuff because it's a shit show.
Of the potential issues you might face. And I think a lot of this tracks with the experience of Selene/DokiBird as she has exited that agency. So let's begin here. If you are a Nijisanji EN liver, despite being very successful, you still might have issues with management stifling your projects and randomly cutting them off and giving you a hard time. In fact, this might have immense effects on your mental health, which they might ignore when they terminate you publicly against your own wishes and sharing information against your own wishes publicly in a termination announcement only a month after you attempted to take your own life. In fact, they will do this without any regard of your current mental state because they want to make some sort of a public statement about your termination. In fact, during that vulnerable state, you might see some of your Nijisanji EN former agency members come out in a joint statement and throw you under the bus for their...
That's the thing I hate the most, is they have... that they seem to have so much control. I hate that about most companies, and why I don't think I'd ever sign up for anything other than maybe management, because they literally control how you act.
Own self-interests, to the point where you also discover in that statement that private information isn't really respected within the agency, and random livers in the agency might see your private information.
I found that part absolutely ridiculous. Why would any other liver need your private information? Yeah, exactly.
If it is somehow shared with them by management. In fact, in joint statements like this, you'll have former agency members that you shared time with coming forward and saying that your experience is invalid. They will say that the harassment you're reporting is not true because they just feel like it. In fact, you'll have agency members just straight up say, even though you claim you were harassed.
I do find it absolutely crazy that Nijisanji was like one of the most popular of these, and their literal self-inflicted fall is crazy.
There was no harassment here. And when you leave, despite being one of the most successful and productive and hardworking members of the agency, you might find them saying that your termination was negligible, despite the fact over the next couple of months, the stock of the company will drop every single day to the point of reaching an all-time low as we speak. And of course, hard work doesn't really
F's in the
seem to be bolstered too much, and you're kind of on your own because, as Dokibird claimed, as Selene in 2023, despite earning over $200,000 in revenue,
Feels cheap
she did
of
not
them.
see a profit because she was spending her own money to fund projects not only for her own channel but for Nijisanji.
This is what I find absolutely ridiculous. The split here, I have always said that the company splits are dog shit, but also, imagine being one of the most popular livers on your team for, I think, 2 years or so, and you make no profit the entire time. That's crazy.
As well through collaborative events with other livers. And that's not really a surprising thing if you look at the Nijisanji contract. They do very little to help out their livers. This is something we know because these contracts have been shared by former members over the past couple of months. Included in that contract, you'll see you'll have a very hard time making up for those costs of doing business, because when it comes to merch sales, you're only going to get 2%. And if you're someone trying to join this agency, that's a pretty big thing to be aware of. You're only going to get 2% commission.
Yep, I was like, bullshit. That sounds insane. 2%? 2% is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me just, I'm like too pivoted. 2% is insane. Absolutely insane. Sorry, I don't know why this shadow is working like this. It hates me right now.
On merch sales. And on top of that, as merch companies also pull out, apparently conventions are going to be a very hard time for a potential Nijisanji Ian Liver, because some conventions are already determining that a Nijisanji Ian Liver is not conducive to a positive convention experience for everyone attending it. Now, of course, at the end of the day, guys, what's most important? Being a part of the Nijisanji Ian family. They'll say it over and over again. You're a part of the family. What could be better than that? I mean, being a part of the Nijisanji family? Come on. Well, of course, you're a part of the family unless you're white, of course.
Exactly.
Or a man, or straight, or God forbid, all three, because you might have some issues with some of the livers.
Wait. Go back.
Better than that. I mean, being a part of the Nijisanji family? Come on. Well, of course, you're a part of the family unless you're white, of course, or a man, or straight, or God forbid, all three, because you might have some issues with some of the livers within the EN branch. But anyways.
What? Where did that come from? I feel like I got whiplash. Like, did I miss something?
That's some of the dangers you might face if you are someone joining Nijisanji EN. And of course, you know, all of that lecturing aside, at the end of the day, people are grown adults. They can make their own decisions and apply to whatever VTuber agency they want. If they want to apply to Nijisanji EN, that's their decision. But of course, we know that if someone wiped out the name Nijisanji and listed off everything that they did over the past couple of months alone, if someone looked...
I'm too clingy. The only way I'm letting my livers go is if they want to go. If a corporation makes them leave, I'll be like, you fucking cunts.
...to that, and let's say it was a random, small indie, or a small VTuber agency, people would chastise them. No one would apply for them. Because they would see the things that they did, and they would say, no way am I joining that agency.
That's what I'm
But given the fact their name is Nijisanji and that carries a lot of clout, people will overlook everything that's been happening and apply anyways. And that's not surprising because they want to be...
Definitely. We're on our way right there. We're on our way right now. I'm just curious
of Nijisanji and the benefits that come with it. And of course, there's a lot of potential problems with joining not only any agency, but Nijisanji in particular, but there are positives, because there are some things people will look at and say, hey, that is such a positive for me that I am willing to overlook other things. And there are genuine positives to joining VTuber agencies, generally speaking. And this is something that Dokibird touched upon in a video we're going to watch a few clips from, because she probably more than anyone knows the experience of being both a successful agency VTuber as well as a successful indie VTuber. So at the beginning of this clip, Dokibird talks about the aspect of luck. Luck has a lot to do with your potential success, not only as a VTuber, but as a content creator. As an indie, luck has a big role, and a very specific role. Just breaking out, okay? As someone who has had a lot of luck over the years, there's things that you really don't have control over that will boost you eventually. It is true that you can be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't catch some lucky breaks, you might not break out of that kind of starting zone of your
It's why the people that are most successful are either lucky, they're really passionate somehow, something niche, or they're willing to they're willing to bend until they fit into any mold. Like those people that just really want to like bend, like they'll go into anyone, they'll pander to anyone to get them views. Luckless, bitchless should be my house motto, honestly. Yeah, 600k makes
your
sense.
career. And as someone who has been around here and, like I said, had some lucky breaks, there's things that can happen. Like
Commentary
the
video,
algorithm just
channels are
favors
huge.
you for a period of time and really exposes your content.
Some of
Or a
them are
certain
cunts,
video,
though, I
for
tell
whatever
you, from doing
reason,
this.
blows up because of the algorithm and gets a lot of people on that one video and then checking out your channel. Or you have a larger channel react to you. Or let's say you might even get canceled for stupid reasons on social media and people...
Okay, I would say Sniper Wolf is a bit luck, but honestly, she's one of those people that is willing to bend her morality to get whatever. She was willing to cheat, lie, and just pander to whatever it took to be famous. So it wasn't just luck, it was also flexibility on everything.
Rally behind you. A lot of these things you don't have control over, and it's just luck. Luck is definitely a factor. But as Doki Bird talked about earlier in this clip, and we're just kind of cutting through it a little bit for time's sake here, she talks about how the luck aspect is different. The luck aspect is getting into the agency, applying and getting in, because there's so few spots and so many people applying. There's a lot of luck there, okay? But once you get in, you pretty much eliminate the luck aspect because you have a built-in audience and a lot of things are just stable for you. So let's listen to this.
Obviously, I'll be going over like why would she join a company and about how, and also like things to be aware of. And like I said,
like the smart glasses.
You get an instant audience base. So the audience of the company and of the VTubers that debut before you will be there for your debut. Obviously, because
and I can't even begin to tell you how much of a boost it is. So like whether it's a Nijisanji live or Hololive or what have you, a lot of them will have upwards of 100 or even 200,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel or hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. And I'm telling you, starting off with that block of people is an insane boost because not only is there a large audience already built in,
that could be like
they
5 years of work in 5
and
seconds.
Engaged set of an audience. And I can't tell you how important that is because as someone like me who's been around for like 7-ish years on YouTube, I have a lot of inactive
Nijisanji list
accounts that are currently subscribed to me. So my numbers are probably a little bit inflated. There's a lot of people who are inactive, and having fresh active people, you're going to get a lot more out of those people than a larger group of followers that aren't as active or lost interest over time or moved to a different account or what have you. So having all of those people, that 100 or 200,000, they're going to be super into what you're doing. And the way that these debuts are hyped up, they are really ready to check you out and learn more about you, as she'll talk about here.
A lot you might not be the first person there. You know, it might not, if it's not a new company that you're starting, there is already the branding involved. So you're going in with like an established audience.
That is really all you're signing up
because
for.
of that's why a lot of people want to join. If you're nobody, if you came with 0 viewers, then of course, like, having suddenly on your debut, like, I don't know, 20 plus viewers, if you come from 0, 20 plus, 100, 200, 1,000, that's a lot from what you were used to. It draws a lot of attention.
And I can't, again, stress to you how much people would give to have a boost like that. That is why people will overlook everything going on with a company like Nijisanji and join them because they want that boost right from the start. Nobody wants to debut their VTuber model or their career or whatever in front of 3 people. It's just, it's difficult.
Yep,
and a lot of people don't respond well to that, especially if they've invested a lot of their own money into a VTuber model or what have you. Having that instant boost is just, you can't describe the importance and value of that. Anyone would give for that advantage if they could without the consequences that might come from joining an agency.
And it's your job to make a good debut so you can keep the attention of those people that watched you. They don't know anything about you, but they're all here to be there to watch you. they know zero things other than what you've given out, what your skin suit is,
your
and
skin
like
suit,
what your personality is like on Twitter.
Yeah, that's typically why debuts are so hyped, because a lot of agencies like Hololive, they only give you like the smallest portion of their personality. They give you a teaser, so you want to go to the debut stream to check out what's going on and
like
more
leave a little
about
bit
them.
what
And it
the
makes it
concept is, that's
super,
about it.
super
Just the
hype. It's a
tiniest bit.
formula that's always going to work. And yeah, that's something that a lot of people would love to have if given the opportunity.
And honestly, this is why, unless you're really big or in an agency, debuts don't work as well, because you have no audience to push towards the hype. 2D model? Yeah, if I ever finish it, I will, but honestly, I love my 3D a lot, so I'm not in a huge rush. But I will do a debut for it. I usually do something to some level, just the size varies.
And of course, that pressure isn't for everyone, right?
Yeah.
There are some people that is terrifying.
People change
to
a lot.
debut in front of, let's say, tens of thousands of people potentially. That terrifies some people. They wouldn't want to deal with that pressure, and that's why some people just don't want to join an agency like that, because they couldn't deal with the stress.
Also,
and as we've talked about, there is unique pressures with joining VTubing agency, especially if you're joining like VShojo or Nijisanji or Hololive, the big
there
ones,
is a lot of them in
where
those categories.
there is going to be a microscope on you forever. And again, like I was talking about this in yesterday's
that
video,
is a
there was
thing to
some
think about.
surprise on my behalf that people like Kuro from VShojo was surprised that people are speculating about some of their vague tweets. Well, of course they're going to. You're someone in VShojo. If you've been in the agency, especially like someone like that who's been in 2 agencies, you should know that people are always going to be trying to figure things out, guessing on things, speculating about things.
Like it or not, for them, their brand and their stuff is based on being famous, and that's what happens when you're famous. Because if you didn't get that kind of attention, sadly, you wouldn't be famous and you wouldn't have a job. It's sad, but it's true.
Diving deep into things, looking for more than there probably is, that's just a part of joining these things. And that's a pressure a lot of people really can't deal with all the time. But let's move on to another reason she lists for joining companies, some of the benefits.
Another reason why is
like every little thing about Nijisanji is getting talked about.
People to collaborate with instantly. And this is one of the things that I've learned as an indie, how it's very difficult as an indie is to find a group of people or a collab group that you want to do collabs with.
Yeah, I can't stress to you enough, collabing as an indie is really hard. If you guys watch my streams or even my videos, you know I don't collaborate hardly ever. I could count on one hand with the amount of people I've collabed with. I just personally, I don't know, especially with streams, I'm just more comfortable by myself. The only person I really collaborate with is the person I'm collaborating with for the rest of my life, and that's my wife, okay? I'm just more comfortable with her, and that's just the way I like to do things.
That is true.
But overall, like trying to find groups to collaborate with is very difficult to seek out, and a lot of people, they're going out there basically taking a chance on a lot of...
I would say community-based ones, like he's a commentary, so commentary community and YouTube community isn't close. In Twitch, if you're part of a gaming community, it's a lot easier, but also if... Not saying he's unlikable, but if you aren't likable in the VTuber sphere, you're gonna have a very hard time too. Also, the more controversial you be, it'll be even harder. You got it, May. No one hates him for having a wife, that's for sure.
People when they collab, and they're often surprised by the people. Maybe it doesn't, the vibes aren't right. Or you deal with people who are really unprofessional, or they just don't have a very good way of carrying themselves in a collaboration. They're not trained properly, or they don't have boundaries, or they're not very cognizant of where they are and what's going on with the stream. When you're in a professional agency, you're dealing with a lot more proper talent who are much more informed and specialized to do a collaboration with, and they have a joint.
You know there's rules that they can't break. It's like, no one noticed, but one person in one of the collabs, I'm not going to say what event or collabs, just did some weird tirade about a very controversial political person. It was just like, where the fuck did that come from? But like someone in a company would know not to do that.
Interest in having a good collab. It's not just good for both of your channels, it's good for your agency as a whole.
I would have to know.
And that's something that's really big.
Things about them.
And
can they banter? Can they talk?
And be able to like...
Do I agree with them? Do I get along with them?
Organize something really easily.
Because
in
I did some
general.
collabs at the beginning that I did not like,
you
so
can
I'm a bit more
literally
picky
just
now.
ask anybody.
Not super
like,
picky,
there
but a
might
bit
be a
more.
server or something, and you can just be
Mainly
like,
because a couple guys I've collabed with in the past just sat there silently. So now I wait to get to know someone a bit.
at everyone, I want to play this game. I want to play this
Yeah, but I don't know
game,
how you talk.
and,
Like
I
a
need people to play
banter.
there. I need 3 people.
Yeah, but I
And
could
that is
tell
why
you
one
could like
reason,
banter a bit.
one
And
reasons why
that's the
people wanna
risk
join.
you
They want a
take.
sense
You
of
risk for the
community,
biscuit
and they want
sometimes,
a
and you
group
give
of
that
people
one
to be able
stream
to,
go.
to be able to
If you
play
think, oh,
games
I think
with,
this could
or,
work,
like,
and
to
then
be
if
able
it
to-
doesn't
seen
work,
people
you
very
never talk to
recently
them
even
again.
talk about
If it doesn't work, you never collab with them again. Stoic, yeah, but they may like that, but talking to a brick wall, I may as well be myself. Yeah, see, I would not, I wouldn't collab with someone who just quotes movies or quotes memes. That's for sure. My
like,
dad
the
works
fact
at
that, like,
Microsoft. Let's collab.
there's many layers that will make it difficult to even find a collaboration based on a game, because there's a lot of clickiness too in the indie scene. And yeah, there might be clicks within an agency. We've seen that. But overall, you guys have a joint interest and you would want to work with each other. And it's a little harder to ignore each other or to basically blow each other off in a collaboration request. And it's something that's very important to have that built-in group of people to work with. But here's one last thing I want to highlight in her portion of this clip here.
And the number reason is if you're a singer or a dancer. So the
Twitch
reason
channel,
why I put
exactly.
that
That's
is
why
that
Luke is on
it's very
fucking
beneficial
thin
for if you have talents in singing or dancing to work for a company. And because of that, because the reasoning is that
so you need talents to get into the companies. I have none.
That
What the
VTuber
fuck?
companies do, it doesn't matter how big or small, are concerts and like singing. And if you're talented at singing, you will get picked to do concerts. If you can sing, you'll get those opportunities to perform around the world for fans.
Link clicks, exactly.
Since
I
you're
hope
under
to
a
be
group,
controlling like
you can
Genshin
do
Impact community.
big group concerts with lots of other singers, and it's much easier to set up versus as an individual.
Yeah, like imagine trying to set up a music event or some sort of a concert by yourself.
Yep.
You pretty much can't. It'll never
Oh my god, my fucking mic turned off. That was dumb. Okay, I was just saying I agree with this. It's so much easier to collab when you have already, you have set similar interests. That's why so many Yu-Gi-Oh creators collab with other Yu-Gi-Oh creators, because they know they like something in common.
have the budget, it'll never have the production value that you'll get from
Yeah, I have been
a
told I talk to
agency
my chat a
concert
lot
event or
compared to
something
other
like
people,
that. We
so-
see events with all the big agencies. They are a huge deal and they're a huge promotion for the agency and all of the
But,
members included.
yeah. I
And
would
also
say
it
just
takes
some
off
people are
pressure
better at
too. Like
certain
if
kind
you're
of collabs. Like
one
some
of
quieter
15
people are
people in
invite
this
to big
concert,
groups.
there's a lot less pressure on you than one person trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
run
just
an
like,
entire show. So that's something
and
else
nothing's
that's a benefit.
working.
As you can see, there are very big benefits potentially for joining an agency,
you're like,
but that is
"Yay!"
something that comes
Invite
often
back
with
here.
other costs, and that's something we can talk about. Now, in previous videos, I've talked a lot about the benefits of being independent, and I think just doing it very, very generally, the benefit is having less rules and guidelines to work on.
Yes,
You're much more
that is a
free. Of
big
course,
part of it.
you still have to deal with the rules of places like YouTube or Twitch or other platforms, but generally, you can stream whatever game you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You can collaborate with whoever you want. You're a lot less restricted.
Yeah,
you
you
also don't
make
have to
your
give away
choices.
portions
That is
of
the
your
biggest
revenue
part.
to management. You don't have to deal with the
Sports are out of
possibility of
control.
terminations or